Hi and Assalamualaikum and good evening to all of the viewers and subscribers. So a couple days ago, I've opened a question section at the official Twitter account, my BSR6026A, for my beloved viewers to ask any question related to construction. And overall, I would like to see most of the questions been asking about tunnel construction. And yes, our topic for this time is overview on tunnel construction. So today's the day where your question will be answered by two professional panel, which is Encik Za'im Faiz Azman, the head lecturer in new item, and he is an ex-worker of smart tunnel construction. And we also have Miss Aqilah Syaza Binti Usin, the senior director of Gamuda Berhad, which is the joint venture partner of smart tunnel construction. Okay guys, I have compiled their answers in next section of my video, so don't forget to hit the like, subscribe and share button. Enjoy the video.
As the populations of every area increases, so will be the congestions at the Earth's surface. To provide the best services for everyone in the area, tunnels are needed. Tunnels are artificial passages, open at both ends constructed for different purposes. It is required for highways, railways, sewerage, water supply, canals, and so on. Tunneling procedure is much more economical compared to open-cut trench method, as well as the maintenance cost. There are three types of tunnels, which are soft-ground tunnels, rock tunnels, and underwater tunnels. So let's start with the soft-ground tunnels. Soft-ground tunnels generally are defined as those in which the ground may be excavated or dug by conventional means. Soft-ground tunnels require more or less immediate support to maintain the opening. Soft-ground tunneling is performed at urban areas and relatively shallow depths, and often as subways, water supply systems, and sewers. Because the ground is soft, a support structure known as tunnel shield must be used at the tunnel head to prevent collapse. Next, rock tunnels. Rock tunnels require a little or no extra support during the constructions and often used as the railways or roadways through the mountains. Back in the days, in order to construct the tunnels, the rock used to be blasted by dynamite. But now, there are many construction methods such as using the tunnel boring machine, TBM, rotators, and others. Lastly, underwater tunnels, which are particularly tricky to construct as the water must be held back while the tunnel is being built. Early engineers used pressurized excavation chambers to prevent water from gushing into the tunnels, but now, prefabricated tunnel segments can be floated into position, sunk, and attached to other sections. Tunnels are mainly divided into two, which are transportation tunnel and conveyance tunnel. Transportation tunnels are tunnels that transport people and transportation such as cars, motorcycles, ship, yacht, trains, and so on. There are railway tunnel, highway tunnel, pedestrian tunnel, navigation tunnel, and subway tunnel in transportation tunnel. Conveyance tunnel are mostly below-ground channel tunnels used to transport liquid or placements of utilities, and they are serving liquid tunnel, hydroelectric power station tunnel, water supply tunnel, public utilities conduit tunnel, sewer tunnel, and industrial plant tunnel. So now, our main focus is highway tunnel. Just a quick information for you guys, the longest highway tunnel in the world is located in Japan, known as Yamate Tunnel, length 18.29 km with two tubes. Highway tunnels are enclosed highway with vehicle access and are feasible alternative to cross physical barriers or shorten the time travel distances. As we all should know or already known, before constructing a highway tunnel, there are so many things need to be considered, such as the economic analysis in the environment investigation. In order to build the tunnel, the financial analysis or the cost of the tunnel construction should be defined based on the environment investigation. Same goes to the road. It is important to compare alternatives such as the tunnel versus the bridge or the bypass and make an evaluation. Geotechnical investigations are also critical for proper planning of a tunnel. The selection of the alignment, the cross-section, and the construction method is influenced by both geological and geotechnical conditions, while topographic surveys offer an ideal way to identify and map the surface features of the terrain in a given area, like our case, the highway tunnel construction.
There are some factors to be considered such as shape, sea line, cross-section, gradient, curvature, and alignment. Other than that, tunnel structure, ventilation, tunnel lighting, tunnel lining, and maintenance are also things that should be considered before construct a tunnel. As for design, there are circular tunnel, double box tunnel, house hole tunnel, and oval or egg tunnel. For tunnel ventilation, there are usually two types of ventilation used, which is natural ventilation and longitude ventilation. In natural ventilation, the air flow with the act of nature from other opening to another opening. As for longitude ventilation, use extra fans to operate. Tunnel ventilation is a system where exhaust fans are located at one end of the house to large openings are installed at opposite end. Tunnel ventilation is a type of exhaust system. The fans act like pump to move air through air outlet. Next, we are going to talk about construction. A tunneling shield is a proactive structure used to loose, non-cohesive or too soft soil. The shield serves as a temporary support structure for the tunnel while it is being excavated. The material inside the shield is removed and a lining system is constructed before the shield is advanced further. Next is bored tunnel. Bored tunnel constructed in situ without removing the ground above. They are usually of circular or house or cross-section. Some concept of underground mining apply. Three common types of tunnel boring machine is earth pressure balance, bentonite slurry, compressed air. The advantages is it is fast, efficient, and less destructive than cut and cover methods. It can minimize disruption to existing development and traffic. Continuous operation, which the tunnel boring machine can operate 24 hours. Other than that, we have drill and blast tunneling, an alternative to using tunnel boring machine. Used in rock situation or difficult ground condition. Drill and blast the rock and remove it using conventional conveyor technique. It must be done in such a way to minimize shock, vibration, and other disturbance to the rock structure around the profile of the tunnel. Basic principle is to loosen the virgin rock, involve the underwater immersion of large steel or concrete tunnel. Tunnels are constructed on land and lowered into underwater trenches. Drill and blast tunneling, the ends are closed with watertight bulkheads which are later removed from the inside when the tunnel segments are sealed together underwater. There are new methods in constructing tunnel, which is sequential excavation method (SEM). For your information, it is the new Austrian tunneling method. SEM permits a tunnel of any shape or size to be excavated. It is useful in areas where the tunnel shape or size need to change, and the process of the sequential excavation method is first, a waterproofing membrane is installed between the ground and the tunnel concrete lining. Then, shotcrete, a pneumatically sprayed concrete, will be applied on this tunnel wall, which have been lined with waterproofing and a cache of wire mesh fabric. The disadvantages of this method is the ground must be completely dry and necessary to dewater before excavation. Ground modification to strengthen the soil, including grouting, chemical injection, and etc. Highly skilled labor, experienced engineers are needed to supervise the work. And lastly, the disadvantages is the construction cost is high.
Wow, that was such a great response and answers you got from both of them. So you have heard the details overview on tunnel construction. Let me start a storytelling session with you guys about the smart tunnel. Who in the earth didn't know the existence of the smart tunnel? The smart project is a dual-purpose project in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, where the biggest problems at Kuala Lumpur during the monsoon season, heavy rainfalls and heavy floods cause an overflow of two rivers, and on the other hand also to reduce traffic jams along Jalan Sungai Besi and Lok Yew flyover at Pudu during rush hour. Therefore, the smart tunnel was developed in order to alleviate both problems. When a major storm is underway, the smart tunnel engaged in 3 modes in order to prevent a flood from hitting Kuala Lumpur. The 3-kilometer motorway closes and it's transformed into a 3 million cubic meter water diversion channel to give an estimate 3 million cubic meter of water. Okay, so once the last car has passed through the tunnel, the patrol team begins the closure protocol with the tunnel's entry points closing and all incoming traffic is diverted away from the motorway tunnel. The smart tunnel consists of 3 sections. The upper 2 sections are roadways that cater the traffic, and each section allows the traffic to travel in one direction only. The third section is a strong water tunnel. The first mode, under normal condition where there is no storm, no flood water will be diverted into the system. The tunnel will operate as a normal traffic tunnel and no flood water is diverted into the stormwater tunnel. When the heaviest storm strikes the city, the mode 3 were activated. When the third mode is in operation, the motorway will be closed to all traffic. Thus, the entire 3 section of the smart tunnel is ready to carry flood water. Automatic gate will be opened to allow flood water to pass through. After the flood has ended, the tunnel is verified clean via pressure washing and the roadway will be reopened to traffic within 48 hours of closure. But first time ever on September 2020, the tunnel had activated its 4th mode for the 7th time. It was first activated with 2B mode at 2:50 p.m. and by 4 p.m. the 4th mode is activated. During the flash flood on 10 September 2020, the tunnel diverted 3 million cubic meters of water. Can you imagine? Here's a video to give you some chills. The stormwater flow almost about 6 hours and the upper deck are with full flow of water. I am not interested in imagining the whole situation if there is no smart tunnel on that time. Okay guys, that's all for this week, and what can I conclude that the smart tunnel project is some very innovative and unique solution to carrying array on floods and on the other hand to solve the traffic problems. And yes, we can conclude that tunnel construction do give us a lot of advantages. Okay guys, I'll be back with a lot of fun content, or you guys can just request it through my DMs. That's all for now, and special thanks to Encik Za'im Faiz and Miss Aqilah Syaza for spending their time explaining in details about overview on tunnel construction. See you again!